We start the 7 o'clock hour with a live look outside where there is a whirlwind of weather conditions over the next couple of days. Today it's going to be very warm with the highs nearing 70 degrees. And then tomorrow wind is expected to pick up, increasing the risk of wildfires. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Drew Carney. A red flag warning is in effect today with that fire weather watch continuing into tomorrow. As Corey just mentioned, strong winds, extremely low humidity, all building up to this. Weather Impact Team meteorologist Jaden Knowles, meanwhile, live for us in Coal Creek with what this means for our area exactly. Jaden?
Hey, well, good morning, Drew and Corey. And yeah, we have a lot of weather, especially over the next couple of days as we're starting this new week. On this holiday, we're talking about that red flag warning for parts of the metro area, really up and down the I-25 corridor towards the eastern plains, as well as, like you just mentioned, Drew, that high wind watch, as well as a fire weather watch. All that continues as we head into tomorrow evening. Now, with all that combined, we're talking about gusts close to 60 miles per hour is possible in some locations, and that's just not the right recipe. I mean, we could see fast-moving fires if a fire does start. And on top of all of that, we could break a record today with the heat that we're seeing, breaking that all-time 60-degree winter. How many 60-degree days we've seen in the winter? We could break that record set back in 1981. If you go ahead and take a look at your screen there, you can see strong winds can quickly push flames through dry grass and brush, especially in open areas and along the foothills. Now, with humidity values under 10%, fuels are extremely dry, meaning even a small spark could spread rapidly. And the warmth is part of the story. Today, we're expected to hit our 35th 60-degree day of the season, breaking the previous winter record of 34 set back in 1981. Now, fire officials are urging people to avoid outdoor burning, secure trailer chains, properly discard cigarettes, and avoid activities that could create sparks. But blowing dust and strong crosswinds may also make travel difficult at times, particularly along the I-25 and across the eastern plains. And as I mentioned, conditions can be even worse, especially as we head into tomorrow. Tomorrow, that's where we're really going to be expecting to see those wind gusts close to 60 miles per hour, maybe even 70 at times in localized areas. But now is the time to go ahead and start to prepare. Make sure you bring your trash cans inside, because you don't want your trash cans all the way down the streets in your neighbor's yard, and just be weather aware. That's one of the main reasons why we went ahead and went weather impact alert for tomorrow afternoon specifically, Katie. I mean, we have a lot of weather across the entire state. I mean, from blizzard conditions to windy conditions to fire conditions. I mean, this is one of the main reasons you're a meteorologist in Colorado.
Absolutely. It's a very powerful storm system. Jaden, thank you so much for your reporting. Good reminders there for tomorrow's winds. We are already seeing some strong conditions up into the mountains, but it'll be tomorrow. You'll feel the storm system coming in today, upper 60s. We are absolutely expecting to hit the most 60-degree plus days that Denver has ever seen on record. Now, for our radar picture this morning, pretty quiet, and these alerts not in effect just yet, but lit up across the state with winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories into portions of the mountains, the foothills. Here for the metro area, we'll be talking a fire weather watch for today and high fire danger, especially tomorrow. Low relative humidity and the strongest winds, those will really pick up for Tuesday. Also picking up mountain snow. It'll become widespread. This morning, you can see from our radar picture, partly cloudy skies, pretty quiet, but across the west coast, we are seeing some of that heavy precipitation. This will slowly make its way here into Colorado throughout the day Tuesday, again on Wednesday, and through the end of the week. It's much needed. We've been talking about it for weeks. It's been a dry and unseasonably warm winter, cooler air and wet conditions, and widespread snow moving into the mountains. Temperatures right now, it's pretty mild. 41 degrees in Denver, upper 20s, low 30s up north, Keensburg, Greeley, so definitely a cool start. But later on today, unseasonably warm once again, 69 the expected high. Staying dry, a bit breezy. We'll break down the timing of the storm system today, though, in the mountains if you're traveling in and around, back down the hill. Dry conditions, pretty easy travel, spring-like temperatures, but with these snow totals anywhere between 8 to 14 inches. It'll be tomorrow morning if you do have travel planned. It's going to get treacherous at times, widespread snow, gusty winds, limited visibility. Details on more of those specific snow totals as well coming up in your extended forecast.
Katie, thank you. Developing out of Erie, police say a toddler was killed in a hit-and-run crash yesterday near Mountain View Boulevard and Village Vista Drive. Police say the driver left the scene. They don't have any vehicle information. If you know anything about this hit-and-run, call Erie Police. A Douglas County deputy has been fired after being arrested on suspicion of DUI and assaulting a peace officer. Andrew Sanders was arrested by Parker Police last Saturday night on February 7th. On Friday, the Douglas County Sheriff posted online that Sanders had been fired, calling the allegations disgraceful. Sanders' next court appearance is scheduled for February 24th.
New developments in the Steamboat Springs plane crash that happened on Friday. We now know the names of the 4 people who died in that crash. The Routt County Coroner's Office confirms the victims are 47-year-old Aaron Stokes, 21-year-old Jackson Stokes, 21-year-old Colin Stokes, and 37-year-old Austin Husky. According to our NBC affiliate in Nashville, Tennessee, Aaron Stokes was Jackson's dad and Colin's uncle. A preliminary report from the FAA says the crash happened near Emerald Mountain just after midnight. Flight tracker shows the plane came from Nashville, stopped in Kansas City, and then headed on to Steamboat. The NBC station in Nashville also reports Aaron Stokes lived in Franklin, Tennessee, with his wife and 4 children.
As federal immigration enforcement ramps up, some residents say they feel pressure to carry identification documents that were never required to have on them before. Esteban Hernandez spent more than 2 decades as a naturalized citizen without thinking twice about what was in his wallet. That changed last year after being questioned at an airport and while working as a truck driver. Since then, he's been carrying a passport card, something he says he never thought he'd have to do.
It is something that I started doing, not because, like I said, not because I'm afraid of doing something wrong, but I mean, to avoid problems for my kids.
Immigration attorney Hans Meyer says while legal permanent residents and visa holders are required to carry proof of status, citizens have no such obligation. But he says ICE agents are increasingly bypassing those constitutional protections, so more people are carrying additional forms of identification.
State officials hope 2026 is a big year for the SHARE Act of 2025. That act means Colorado workers could soon have an easier time taking their jobs across state lines. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi joins us live here with more on this. So Lauren, this new bill, we talked about it earlier, really about cutting through a lot of red tape.
Good morning, Drew. Yeah, that red tape has slowed down license transfers for years. State officials say that this could have a really big impact, especially right here in Colorado. That's because Colorado is a part of more professional licensing agreements than most states. The SHARE Act of 2025 could make it much easier for people to work in different states without having to get a new license each and every time. Colorado is a member of 14 professional licensing compacts, agreements that let people work in multiple states with just one license. So that means right now, some professional licenses can transfer across state lines, but confusing federal background check rules have slowed that process down. The SHARE Act would clear up those rules so states can actually put those agreements into place. The goal is to fill jobs faster and support the workforce without lowering safety standards. The Colorado Department of Regulatory Agencies, or DORA, is in favor.
It's an act that will impact many different professions and all of the states in the country, not just Colorado.
I'll explain what some of those professions are and where the SHARE Act of 2025 stands right now, coming up in the next hour on 9 News Mornings and streaming on 9 News Plus. Live in Denver, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
Lauren, thank you. The city of Denver is making moves that suggest it's ditching its controversial partner on license plate cameras. It's a company called Flock. 9 News has learned Mayor Mike Johnston's office is asking other companies to submit bids for a surveillance camera contract. This comes as City Council found out Flock put Denver's data into a national network. 9 News also uncovered they had a contract with Border Patrol, despite the company telling the public it did not have any federal contracts. Denver can't legally say right now that Flock won't get the new contract, but if the city was happy with Flock, the city confirmed it would simply extend the company's contract. The mayor has been a supporter of the camera system and bypassed the city council to keep Flock in charge. Multiple sources tell 9 News they expect that Axon and Motorola will get in the mix to get the contract.
Boulder Valley School District is notifying families that continued enrollment declines could lead to the consolidation or closure of some elementary schools. District leaders say the system has lost about 3,700 students since 2017. They project another 1,700 will leave over the next 5 years, driven in part by rising housing costs and changing demographics. While administrators argue restructuring could concentrate staffing and amid academic support at fewer schools, many parents are worried about the emotional and community impact of losing neighborhood campuses.
They are the heart of the neighborhoods and the communities, and I just feel really sad for the kids that are going to be impacted by this.
It's really about not the resources we have today, but as we look 5 years from now, we won't have those same resources if we do nothing.
The district, by the way, has not identified specific schools and plans to gather public input this spring before presenting options to the school board later this year.